During the holidays, are there times that you want to chuck a loved one out a window?
Sadly, yes.
If so, we think that it would benefit you to check out our Healthier Relationships course.
If you or a loved one have anxiety or even fear going into the holidays with the interaction with family members or others, that it may be problematic. We really think this course, which we put a lot of work into at My Inner Knowing, could be helpful for you in becoming less reactive and more intentional and help you set some boundaries going forward in your relationship.
We hope you'll give it a try.
And we're offering 25% off for this holiday season. So gift it to yourself or gift it to a loved one.
Yeah, we hope you'll join us.
My Inner Knowing, empowering you to find your compass for the journey. We are dedicated to supporting you to rediscover and trust your natural ability to navigate life each day by sharing insight and experience through the lens of two professional communicators and their guests. We intend to prompt internal inquiry that supports all those willing to explore a unique path.
I don't feel out of my pattern. But I could be, and I'm just not aware of it. So.
Sometimes it feels like we go through cycles, each of us, right? As humans do. So this evening, when you told me to look for a photograph for the blog, I was looking, and I was looking at first for frost, because there's a particular picture I took way back when that was a frosted window pane that was in my mind when I did the blog. And then I figured, well, that was sometime in November, and then I didn't find it, so I switched to autumn. And that was the process I was going through. And you asked me, well, what are you doing? And I said, looking for a photograph. And I don't know. It just feels like that I can't put my finger on it, but that you didn't like it because I gave you a look. And I think I did like this. Was that it? Was that it?
Something like that, yeah. Well, I didn't know the process you were going through. You showed me a picture of yourself from 2022 or 21.
That came up in the
right?
process.
And then you showed me a picture of a
It's from
fire
November.
walk. Right. But I didn't know what you were doing. So I was like, what are you doing? Because I didn't know, like, were you just showing me photos? Or I didn't know you were looking for something specific. And so I was genuinely trying to make a connection in my brain about what you were doing. I just assumed that there was going to be, I don't know, something from more recently. I didn't know, in your thought process, you had gone back years that you were looking for an older photo. So then you were just showing me older photos and I was confused.
Yeah.
And so I think my confusion, I don't know. I wasn't having you were doing anything wrong reaction. I just wasn't sure where you were going when you were showing me the older photos. You were like, this is 22 and this is 21. And so I was just confused.
Yeah, I only showed you a couple. Those were just asides, but I actually was doing what you asked.
Right, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't upset or thinking you were doing anything wrong. I was genuinely confused. Like you were showing me things, and I felt like there was something that I was supposed to be doing, but I didn't know. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. So.
Well, it feels like you're on edge with me.
Why?
Like that's the second time in recent days where, I may have given you, it's not like I threw the phone down and was screaming or anything. I just looked at you like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And granted, there are some offshoots, but not too. I wasn't going too deep. And when you asked me, to me, it felt like, "What are you doing? You're not focusing." But in any event, I don't think that's the only time, because you got upset when I said I'm looking for photographs.
Right. That look.
Yeah,
It was that
like-
look. Right.
What you asked me to do. Yeah. And to me, that's not like a hyper aggressive, God damn it, I'm doing what you asked me to do, or anything like that. So I feel like you're maybe, because normally you don't have that reaction, and I wouldn't say that that's uncommon for me to do that. That doesn't feel like out of my pattern. So. Anyway, just wanted to know if you were on edge. And
No, I don't feel like I'm on edge.
okay, because I wasn't particularly perturbed about it. I mean, but there is a little bit. You asked me to do it, I was doing it.
Right. So, you don't believe me that I'm not on edge?
I don't think you said you're not on edge yet, but other than you just did.
No, I said I didn't think that I felt like I was out of my pattern.
I thought you were extremely reactive when your daughter came up the other night.
When I said
That I always.
and I said not always.
You started always, and then you
Right. I said
backed off of it.
always, and then I said not always, but often when I bring her up, you have to let me know that you're not okay. And even if, like, what I'm talking about isn't asking anything of you, there's a reaction that you have. Like so we were talking about the holidays, and you were talking to your daughter about plans, and you said something about, I don't remember.
Coming over on Christmas morning.
Right. And what her plans were going to be while she was in town. And I said something about, does that mean you're not going to my parents? And so then I said, well, I guess I just need to check, to see what the plan is, because I'll offer it to them for them to go. And then you said something like, yeah, if they're not going, I'm not going. And I
I
just
said, if they're going, I'm not going.
right, which is like that, like, I know that. And so I don't know why you have to say it.
You'll have to give me the other examples, but if you're...
I
Well, I
can't
can
give you the
talk
other
to you about this
examples.
one.
I just, like, I can't, because I don't hold on to stuff like that. Like the detail of it, because I know that you're hurting too. And so I know that it comes from your own pain. But so am I. And so when you say that, I'm sitting over here trying to figure out how to negotiate. What this holiday looks like. For me, in a place I've never been before. But you have to tell me what your boundary is, and which I know.
That's not my boundary, it's reality.
It doesn't matter.
I'm not invited.
I don't know why you have to say it when I'm trying to figure out, when I'm trying to figure out what to do. I don't need the reminder. And so I feel like there's like some like you're, I gotta get a Kleenex. So I guess the question is, why do you need to tell me?
Well, if you're going to talk in the plural, I need to know other instances where it's happened so I can understand. And I heard you say that you're not keeping score, so you don't hold that. But it would be helpful. This time, I didn't feel like you presented it the way you just presented it. Because I was talking about Libby coming and was saying that she was going to be elsewhere, come on Christmas Eve or whatever, then leave and then come back on Christmas morning. And I hadn't even considered that we would be going to your parents' house because I haven't gone for years. And the history of that is when they decided that they didn't like me, then I cannot go where she goes or they go. And so I hadn't even thought about it. And then it felt like the way I remember it is you said, will she be going to my mother's house? And to me, that was an invitation. And so I'm thinking, great. And then you said, but if they want to go, and that felt like the invitation was then taken away by circumstance again. And so what I feel like, and that may be the rest, and it wasn't a conscious, like I was, logically thinking that through. But my life has been dictated many, 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 many times over the time that we've been together with changes to the plan. And so that's probably why I said it. But it wasn't to hurt you. It was just, I don't get to go if they go.
Right. I don't get to go if they go either.
Not this year.
Right.
So what I felt like is maybe you were, I don't know, because my daughter's coming, you were feeling left out, that you don't get to have that this year.
No.
That's after the fact. That was not a consideration in the midst of all of that.
No, I don't compare what's happening with you and what's happening with me.
Yeah. Well, when the opener is always, then I'm immediately on guard. And I know that you pulled back from that because you know, and I both know that's not accurate.
Right.
But it must be more often. I don't know about more often than not even, but more than this one time. And so I would need to know more. But there's no doubt in my mind that I am, there is, and it isn't to hurt you, not intentionally. I'm not saying that it doesn't. I understand the difference between intent and impact, and I'm sorry for that. So I'll have to think about what it is. But I hear you saying, when you say, well, I don't need to know, then it just is on, like Donkey Kong, except I didn't get reactive.
I don't need to know what. I don't need to know what.
that means I can't go. And you said my boundaries earlier, but it's really not my boundary. That's not my desire. It never has been, other than it's an impossibility, right? Because of how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's hard all the way around. And I'm sorry you're hurting.
There is a desire, that I have that, people that are that struggle so much to find safety. Hopefully at some point in their life they're able to find safety. And for me, the abandonment piece is such a huge part of the work, that I do, not just for myself, but for clients. And we all struggle with it so much, whether we call it that or not. Abandonment, I mean. How do we make sure that I am not abandoned? Thinking about even the conversation that we had on the retreat in Oregon about perfectionism and shame, and how everybody's perfectionism definition is so individual, created by their own circumstance. But behind all of it is shame. I'm not good enough, I'll be abandoned. What can I do to make sure that I have value? So as I'm, thinking about it, like that, like for me, like even in the work that I, do as a mental health professional, there's a part of me that understands that I will be abandoned by people. And not just abandoned by people. I mean, some people will put a lot of energy into trying to destroy relationship. And so what's important to me personally and professionally is, a desire and an effort to repair. We talk about it. And so I think what happens for me is not right now, it's harder because I'm feeling and working through my own story of not being enough. But what I know for me is that should my daughter decide at some point to repair with me, that there isn't, the only choice is to attempt to repair. Doesn't mean it would be successful. And so I feel like when you say it that way, the message is, I won't attempt to repair. I won't. And that's hard. Because I think about the long-term impact of that. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. It may never even be. But that, I don't know what words to use, babe. Protect it. Defend it. I think what happens for me is that I have this ability, and maybe it's always been there, I don't know. Maybe not always. I'm sure it's more developed. Like to put myself in the shoes of another person. And to understand what motivates us or drives us when we are feeling like we are surviving. I have not made good choices. I have harmed other people. And so even if I don't agree with the way that she has chosen to handle things, I can understand the desperateness. I can understand the survival part. I can understand the things that we do to just try to be okay, even if I don't agree with them. So what I feel like is, should that opportunity present itself where she feels like she's in a different place, she can see the world more clearly, to understand what was happening for her. And should she have that desire, and that she reaches out in some way, that you hold the ability for healing for her. And that it makes me afraid that you wouldn't offer it. And I assume you know, that means with effort. But I think it hurts my heart when it happens. And I just have to work through the impact that it has on my body.
I don't even know what to say. I was in a space where I could have done that recently. You know this, right? At the wedding. But I didn't have the information that she had been targeting me in years between me moving out. And so I don't know. I think I've done a lot of work. And I think that it was, I don't know. I mean, part of me wants to say, why is this about me and not about her? But I guess I'm the one who said the words. So, and for a long time, I didn't think that I would be open to that. And then I was, and then I found out more. And then all of this happened between you and her. So who knows? But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I want you to have a relationship with your daughter. I don't want to be gunned down in the process.
Agreed.
So I will not stand in your way, but I also will not put myself in that space. So who knows? I don't know how it will develop. But I have a kind heart. You know?
I do.
I mean, I do.
I know. You do.
What else can I say? I won't be foolish, though. I can tell you that. I almost was. I almost was around that wedding. And then I was like, oh, my goodness. Yeah.
I will not be foolish.
That could have gone 8 shades of bad. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry that my words hurt you. I'll try to be mindful of it. Keep it to myself. I'm continuing to do work around it, babe, but I have no idea where, and that's all I can do because I cannot control the other parts of that equation. And there's you, there's her, there's other people involved. So I don't know. But here's what I know is that I will be extremely careful about myself in that process.
Yeah. As will I.
Because, yeah. But know that I want that for you. It's problematic for, potentially problematic, because depending on how that plays out, it's not all of us together, right? And so, but what I don't want is, that I interfere with your process of reconnection. Then I don't know. I mean, other than my mere presence in your life. And, if that was the linchpin, I suppose you'd have to do some hard thinking. and I would much rather that be known sooner rather than later. Because it's just a harsh reality of mixed families, right?
Are you talking about when you say that specifically? in order for me to have a relationship with my daughter, if she set a boundary, that I had to end my relationship with you? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. What if that was your choice? I don't know. I don't know, babe. It's your daughter.
Yeah, it is. It is. And my daughter is not going to remain a teenager forever.
Right.
She will at some point be an adult. Yeah.
Parts of her,
Yeah. Hopefully all of her.
as we all hope,
Yeah.
for ourselves
Yeah, for ourselves
and others.
and others. Yes.
Oh, did I just do it
What?
when I said and others?
And others what?
I didn't know if I was.
Oh, I thought you meant the world.
Well, I meant mostly her,
No,
but I also meant others too. But
no, I meant the
it was
world.
really about her.
Yeah, I really meant the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you've got a lot, and no surprise that there would be huge emotion around that. So it felt like, and it feels like that maybe that space where you are is maybe more reactive to me, or prone to think that I'm on the attack, when I don't think I am. And I'm not saying every move I make is conscious, because it's not. But I didn't have, like tonight, when I gave you the look, it wasn't with malice. It was just like, yeah, I'm doing it,
Right. Right. I didn't think it was with malice.
Well, your energy around it felt like maybe you did, to me. So anyway, I don't know. There's parts of you that just want to pop. And I've been there. It's painful. Around the divorce, this. My daughter didn't talk to me for, 2 years or more? Something like that. I mean, there was a few texts, but typically it was grenades by text that she would throw. And then non-responsive to let's talk about that or whatever. It took a long time. It's hard, hurts, bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know.
Life's very complex.
Yes. What do you need from me around that? I'm sure you could make a list of all the things you need from me. Probably don't need anything from me. What do you want from me? Let's put it that way. Let me ask it this way. Okay. I got to reframe.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
How can I support you? And I mean it. But I'm using your words. I'm serious. How can I support you do better around that? In the way that I react.
Well, what I think about is, because it's not like I bring it up very often. It's really more around like logistics. But it doesn't mean that it's not. On my mind often. And so it's not something people ask me about, even if they know. I think there is I don't know,
If I'm not talking about it, then I must be okay. And so, if I'm not specifically saying I'm struggling, if I'm not specifically saying this is really hard, if I'm not specifically saying whatever, I don't know. Even if other people think about it, they're not asking me about it. And I think that it's probably not unusual. I don't think people like to think about what it feels like to have one of your children decide they don't want a relationship with you anymore. So, like other topics, it probably just gets avoided. But it doesn't mean that the emotion of it or the impact of it isn't still there. So, just negotiating, for me, the reality of what it is right now. And it's hard too because, the guidance that I get from, their therapist is, and from their dad is to not reach out. And so like even the guidance I would give other people what to do in a situation like that, I'm being advised not to do, which is hard because it feels incongruent. And so there's, and I am being respectful of their request. I'm being respectful of, what I hear from their dad. I'm respectful of what I hear from their therapist. And all I hope is that what I'm choosing in the long run is helpful to her. But I don't know that to be true. I don't feel confident in that. I just hope that it is. Is that what she needs? So, I do my best to try to stay grounded and think clearly and pay attention, to what other people say that are in conversation with her. Like, is there something in there that could be helpful for me to learn or understand, about, her or me or our relationship or what she needed from me, what she needed from anybody, not just me. What did she need from her dad, friends, other family? What did she need? What was it that we were missing, not understanding, misvaluing? And the reality is, I know there are things. It's impossible for there to not be things. we are going to harm our kids, even if we don't want to, even if we're not intending to. Knowing that I can have a good relationship with, 3 of my kids and one of them not, working through the, how does that make sense in my mind? And it's a lot. It's just not something that I talk about. I think it's hard because people feel helpless. And so we tend to avoid situations where we feel helpless or conversations where we feel helpless because we like to help people. We like to give solutions. Well, try this or try that. And so I think it's hard for people to engage around it. So going back to your question, how do you best support me? I think when I'm sharing things like that, even if it's just logistics, saying something to me like, how are you doing? Would probably be good. um, just so that I can have the emotional experience of what is happening for me. Because I could stay in the logistics, because that's easier too. And I know it's hard for you. And so it's easier to stay in the logistics too. For that. Yeah. Just as I'm talking, just makes me think of, all the client sessions I've had with people who have had something happen in their life. It can be all kinds of things where they're struggling. They're still going through it, whatever it is. It could be an illness, a serious illness, or a chronic illness, or the loss of someone, or, a divorce. It doesn't matter. Or we're just still working through the process, but, people don't ask us about it later. But we're still in it. So that's what I think would be helpful. Thank you for asking. I know you have a kind heart. I do. And sometimes I get afraid, too. I want my children to have as much healing as they can have. I want us all.
So what you're afraid of? What's your fear? When you say that, what do you mean?
That she would want to repair with you and you wouldn't give it an opportunity. That's the fear. That it wouldn't be an option. And that what she did have with you, she couldn't ever have with you again. And I'm not talking about without work and effort and time and trust. And I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
All that's included. It's what it would be with me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. You were like, I didn't know. You're like, I didn't know we were going here.
Nope.
It's okay.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you too.
I'll keep working.
I know. So will I. Thanks, man.
Thank you for joining us today. We are excited to explore life with you. We encourage curiosity, self-growth, and we strive to be more compassionate every day.